the Apophis Club and the Order of Apep, messages which ask me how can they join, how can they learn more, how can they get involved. Well, I do occasionally put posts up here to explain this, so this is another one, but I thought I'd put it in a video form this time, as I can explain a lot more detail about what's actually involved if you're interested. Firstly, the Order of Apep, that doesn't exist anymore. Hasn't for years, or at least there is another Order of Apep, some other organisation of the same name, but that's nothing to do with me. It was a good few years ago that we changed the name to the Apophis Club. And as for getting involved and learning more, there is an option, yes. It's not just down to the books. There is my Patreon. My Patreon, you'll find the link in the first comment below this video. That is your way to access everything that's going on at the moment concerning the Apophis Club. It is a subscription service, but the subscriptions are not hefty. They're quite manageable. One of the problems with writing the books is by the time they come to print, they are old news. The actual cutting edge of the work has already moved on. Magic doesn't stand still. It's forever evolving. You're forever opening up new ground, discovering new insights, new ways of looking at things. Or if you're not, there's something very wrong. It's not something that's set in stone. It's forever changing. And the core book Apophis was published about 12 years ago now, and the material in it was written in the 6 years previous to that. So there's been so much more since then. And even the most recent books, they have that lead in time while they're being written, while they're being published, and then while they're being read. The work is carrying on. And if you want to be a part of that cutting edge, you'll find it in the Patreon. The first level of Patreon subscription is only $5 a month. You know, a fraction of the cost of a book. And yet it will offer you so much more. Every month we have 2 30-minute lectures on magical topics. Lecture number 120 was posted to the Patreon today. Over the last few years, that means there's been over 60 hours of magical material to listen to. An absolute magical goldmine. And it's exclusive to the patrons. Now, the really older lectures, they've been taken down now to make more space. And instead they've been published as ebooks, transcripts. But they're years behind. At the moment, we're transcribing the 40th lecture. As I say, we are 80 ahead of that now. And every time a new one is released, the gap increases. There are 2 new lectures every month, and only 1 transcription a month, generally. So the gap is continuing to grow, and at some point it will just stop. And nobody except the patrons will get to hear this cutting edge material. So for $5 a month, you get an hour's worth of audio material. Plus, you get the option to take part in whatever coursework we're currently leading. At the moment, there is a very intensive course with the runes taking place with the subscribers to the Patreon. It's based on the curriculum in Igersialm, but it also incorporates new material, new insights, and much more detail that there simply wasn't room to put in the book. And of course, everyone who's taking part is sharing their findings and feeding them back. So the body of work and understanding just keeps growing. You can be a part of that for $5 a month. If you want to pay $20 a month, you also get a weekly video diary. Something similar to this, but it can be on any kind of topic, anything which I have been turning my mind to that week. You'll often see future works foreshadowed months before anybody else, and have the opportunity to help to shape them. And also at that level, the $20 patrons are reading the next book now, because they get to see the first draft as it's being written. As each chapter's written, it's uploaded for them. $30 level contains everything that I've already described, plus you get the opportunity to have a private Skype or Zoom appointment with me every month if you want to talk about whatever you like, anything at all. I should say that all patrons, right the way down to $5, are now having the opportunity to take part in group Zoom chats every 3 or 4 weeks. The first of those is this coming Wednesday. So there is a lot of interaction, there's a lot of new material, and you're absolutely involved in where the club is going and what it's doing right now, and material that won't see print probably for 3 or 4 years, if then. There are a couple of levels beyond the $30 level, and basically they get the opportunity to obtain a signed book, any one of my books that they want, every 3 months of membership. And that is now the only way that I'm providing signed books through the Patreon. So what a patron gains is more than just odds and ends. It really is exposure to the cutting edge of what is going on in my development of draconian themes right now. The patrons were involved in The Satanic Dragon. They got to read it as it was being written over a period of 2 years. They got to discuss all of its themes, knock them back and forwards, and in doing that changed the shape of the book as it was being written. You could be a part of that if you want. They helped to shape The Serpent's Promise, and right now they're taking part in this rune program, which will shape a later volume of rune work. Following that, they're going to be helping me on the journey to produce the Celtic version of the Apophis curriculum, and this is going to be an enormous undertaking. It will be by far the biggest project that I have ever launched. It will take probably 4 or 5 years, if not more, before it comes to print. It will be at least 2 books, again possibly more, and they will see it as it happens and be able to take part in it as it happens, to shape it as it happens. And that is what the Apophis Club Patreon is. That is the Apophis Club. And as I say, if you want more teachings, if you want to know where you can get more, if you want to have access to the very latest material, the very latest thoughts, the very latest perspectives on old material, that is where you'll find it. And the link to the Patreon is in the first comment below this video. And I hope to see some of you there. I'm sure you'll enjoy it if you participate, and I'm sure you'll find it interesting. But I've been asked, so that's where you go if you want to know. Thank you very much.